Quick announcement before we get started. Our landlord has decided to not renew the lease, so we're selling a bunch of manga and magic cards over on eBay. Link down below to help support my family and get us into a new place. Prices are reasonable, unless you want to be generous, of course. Welcome once again to Commander by Danon. Today's video was brought to us by Patreon supporter Chris. Huge thanks to Chris and the rest of my Patreon supporters. Chris reached out asking for a deck led by Alena Kessig Trapper and Ravos Soul Tender, and I was more than happy to build it for him. Also, and I know it's annoying to keep hearing this, but statistically if I don't ask you to like and subscribe, the video gets fewer subscribers. Alena Kessig Trapper is a 5-mana 4/3 legendary human scout with first strike and partner. We may tap her to add an amount of red mana equal to the greatest power among creatures that we control that entered the battlefield this turn. Ravos Soul Tender is a 5-mana 2/2 legendary human cleric with flying and partner. He gives other creatures we control +1/+1. Also, at the beginning of our upkeep, we may return target creature card from our graveyard to our hand. Okay, so we want creatures with a high power and low mana cost, because we're going to be casting them over and over again. If only there was a creature type in the history of Magic that is cheap to cast, deals a good amount of damage, and then goes to the graveyard so that Ravos can bring it back and Alena can then cast bigger spells. But before we get to our deck list, a quick word from our sponsor, Temu. I'm sure you've already heard of Temu, but maybe you haven't ordered from them yet. And if not, don't worry, they're not as bad as Wish.com. I've ordered plenty of things from them over the years and haven't had a bad experience yet. If you're wanting unique products for very cheap and to help support this channel, click the link down below. In order to build a functional commander deck, you need lots of different pieces, which is why I try to rely on my handy-dandy checklist. 50 mana sources, usually split between 37 lands and 13 pieces of ramp, 10 pieces of card advantage, 8 to 10 pieces of spot removal, 2 to 3 board wipes, 2 pieces of graveyard hate, and 1 sudden I win card. Oh, one more quick announcement before we get started. I'm going to be streaming on Musings by Danon as well as Twitch. It'll mostly be Final Fantasy XIV, but you're more than welcome to pop in and talk about Commander. Honestly, about half my streams are spent talking about manga, anime, or Commander. Our lands consist of Command Tower, Exotic Orchard, Nomad Outpost, Sacred Foundry, Godless Shrine, Blood Crypt, Clifftop Retreat, Isolated Chapel, Dragon Skull Summit, Elegant Parlor, Tainted Field, Tainted Peak, Fury Calm Snarl, Shine Shadow Snarl, Foreboding Ruins, Temple of Triumph, Temple of Silence, Temple of Malice, Bajuka Bog, Myriad Landscape, Evolving Wilds, Terramorphic Expanse, 5 Mountains, 5 Plains, and 5 Swamps. Pretty straightforward. For mana ramp, we're running Guild Artisan, Pitiless Plunderer, Ruthless Technomancer, Solemn Simulacrum, Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Talisman of Conviction, Talisman of Hierarchy, Talisman of Indulgence, Boros Signet, Orzhov Signet, Rakdos Signet, and Chromatic Lantern. Again, not super budget friendly, but not high budget either. For card advantage, we've got Laisa Forgotten Archangel, Skull Clamp, Rakdos the Muscle, Chainer Nightmare Adept, Carmen Cruel Skymarcher, Grim Haruspex, Jaxus the Troublemaker, Disciple of Bolus, Orcus Prince of Undeath, Garna Bloodfist of Keld, Victimize, Esper Sentinel, Morbid Opportunist, Timna the Weaver, Olivia Crimson Bride, Demonic Tutor, Phyrexian Reclamation, and Athreos God of Passage, A good mix of reanimation effects and traditional card draw, with a tutor thrown in for good measure. To help control the game, we've got Warstorm Surge, Generous Gift, Path to Exile, Boros Charm, Abrade, Chaos Warp, Rakdos Charm, Bedevil, Fracture, and Disenchant. We're not a control deck per se, but we do want to get rid of annoying permanents. For board wipes, we've got Damn, Blasphemous Act, and Ruinous Ultimatum. Ruinous Ultimatum also serves as a sudden I win card in the right circumstances. The core of our deck consists of Spark Trooper, Ball Lightning, Lightning Skelemental, Blistering Firecat, Felden of the Third Path, Arc Runner, Impetuous Devils, Thunderblust, Urabrask's Forge, Hell's Thunder, Lightning Serpent, Rite of the Raging Storm, Thunderkin Awakener, and Terror of the Peaks. Supporting our plan, we've also got Nahiri's Resolve, Stalking Vengeance, and Fling. Now that we have our deck list, let's compare it to our checklist. 50 mana sources split between 37 lands and 13 pieces of ramp. Right on target. 19 pieces of card advantage, counting card draw and graveyard retrieval. 10 pieces of interaction. 3 board wipes. 2 pieces of graveyard hate in Bojuka Bog and Laisa Forgotten Archangel. 1 sudden I win card in Ruinous Ultimatum. Since our deck wants to swing out with a bunch of creatures, any card that removes those obstacles is great for us. In fact, our whole deck is designed around casting Ball Lightning over and over again. Sure, it has trample, but it's always more fun to smash our opponents directly in the face with our hasty elementals. Speaking of which, though Ruinous Ultimatum may win us the game, Nahiri's Resolve makes our deck insanely strong. Every turn we exile all of our elementals, the ones that survive combat, then return them to the battlefield ready to smash face again. Do you have a deck led by Ravos Soultender? Who's the partner? What about Alena Kessig Trapper? Leave a comment below. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, a huge shout out to my editor cutestuff. I couldn't make these videos without her. If you'd like to hire her to edit your own videos, she can be reached at cutestuff.edits@gmail.com. Link is down below. If you're looking for ways to support the channel directly, you can head on over to patreon.com/Damon. You can have a video made or just ask for help building or tuning a deck list. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to all of my patrons: Waffles, Jiraiya, Danny, Muffins, Marcus, Brett, Roxy, Sean, Mark, Borgie, Nazwin, Midge, Alix, Alex, Conga, Aaron, Chris, Robert, Michael, Skinwalker, Sidewinder, Austin, William, Dan, Pye, Dead Segway, Turner, and Triz. You guys are awesome. I post new Commander Deck videos every weekday, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of new videos. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again next time on Commander by Damon.